You can do anything if you set your goal, acquire the knowledge to achieve it, and without fail, do the work day in and day out. My friends, our goal is to accurately track price movement. That is what we are training for. That is what it is all about. Finding stocks and ETFs that we can backtrack and see that they make consistent, decent moves. Not a lot of fake outs when we look back at them, and that we can use volume along with price, that is our Heikin Ashi candlesticks, and we can see when they're moving in the directions that we want them to move. Now, we are not doing little day trading for pennies, looking for market inaccuracies, market shortcomings, areas where the market's not quite caught up with what's going on. We're looking for trends, and we want to trade those on our weekly chart. Now, we're not a stock calling service, we're an education firm, but for those of you who support us here at the channel at any of the 3 levels of Patreon support, this is an example of what you get each and every week, in addition to all the other special stuff, the 3-wave trades, early access, charting cryptos, commodities, and currencies, our 3-part series, Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way. This is part of what we've put out this week, 20 weekly vertical crossovers. We have none going down, they're all going up. Potential things for you to practice trade. This gave you one yesterday. This is another one that we've identified for this week, Gen Digital. Look how pretty these moves have been in the past. And as you look back in time at these, what do you see going on now? Well, we had, again, a decent attempt to bottom. Things started off with a doji, massively moved down, and then we saw higher than average volume last week with another doji, and then lo and behold, unsurprisingly, an up week. Now, we saw some weakness here at the end of the day on Thursday, so we are paying attention to this as we go into Friday, but that's just one of up to 20 candidates that we give you each and every week for you to find, backtrack, and practice trade on. Now, I'm going to put at the end of today's video a very helpful training, and it is going to be on volume. Again, volume is so very important to tag along with your Heikin Ashi candlesticks. If you can understand volume, Jesse Livermore type of volume, and you can understand Heikin Ashi candlesticks, you're well on your way to figuring out just what is going on. Okay, enough about weekly vertical crossovers. Let's talk about what we see going on with the S&P 500. Down a little bit for the day, both the S&P and the NASDAQ 100 around 0.78%. So 0.75%, both of them are down. You can see that happening on the half-day chart. In the afternoon, you can see where we popped up and then just have been sliding sideways, trying to tick up a little throughout the course of the week, and then going over down on Thursday. So we'll pay attention. We can see same kind of pattern on the 2-day chart. That 2-day candle finished moving at the end of, it's done, it's drawn now at the end of the day on Thursday. A new one will be starting up on Friday. And of course, a very flat trend line. We're going to pay close attention as to what happens on Friday to see, are we topping? Is this just sort of a short-term bump up around the top that we've seen back on the week beginning the 9th of October, beginning the 16th of October, beginning the 30th of October last week, and then just a little bit higher than last week this week. But again, those 2 prior weeks, the 9th and the 16th, we can look and see that we're right there. Are we going to top there? Is that going to be a ceiling, or are we going to blow through it? Well, let's see what happens on Friday and what it portends for us. Now, we go from the S&P to the NASDAQ, and again, we can see that it's somewhere around the same kind of thing here, where things topped before. And again, slowing down at the end of the day. So we will be paying close attention as to what this week really means. We did have high volume the 3 prior weeks. We put in a a short-term low right here on that week during the 23rd, and things have not hit that again. So again, might just be digesting some gains moving up, and it's getting ready to go up again. Could be getting tired. We will see as we finish this week and jump into the next. Bonds really down after going up for, we can see 8 days of green candles here. But, we had a pullback on bonds last Monday, the 6th. And then we saw things this last Tuesday pop up on the 7th and Wednesday. And then this Thursday, we saw things roll over and move down. So again, move down strongly, 2.30%. Again, lots of volume last week. As things started to turn around with that spinning top this week, not a huge candle going up, but of course we can sure see it moving up, and look at the volume already above average. So maybe just a bit of an interim pullback. We'll see how things continue to move on Friday. Let's take a look at gold. Gold up a little bit for the day, 0.40%, but we see 4 days of strong down movement on gold. Got a doji hanging in here this week. We'll see how that volume finishes up, and if it gives us a plan to pull a trigger on a down move on gold. Now, do be aware, there is a short chart in gold, DGZ, but the problem with DGZ is it's very illiquid. So for us to practice trade gold, what we do is we buy puts. And again, if you don't understand options, don't know what they're about, encourage you very much to become a Patreon member, because the first thing you get the minute you sign up and support us here, you get our 3-part series, Options Made Simple, The Charting Wealth Way. You will love it. Think about it. Again, I don't know where you're going to get better training for less expense, and you get to support us and all that we do free each and every day. Plus, you get those 20 weekly vertical crossovers, up to 20. Sometimes there's not 20. We try to give you decent ones. We go through that entire list of the S&P 500, and then we compare the movement, the changeover, and the volume, and we try to find you some sporting candidates to practice trade. Let's lastly go to XBTF. That is the Bitcoin Strategy Exchange Traded Fund, and up 2.58%, just a booming. I mean, nice to see this candle. Looks like it will finish the week strong. It had been sliding sideways, but then just ticking up, way up in the morning, pulling back some in the afternoon. Nonetheless, above average volume, just looking quite beautiful. As again, Bitcoin just continues. Now we watched things as the year started. Things popped up. This is one thing I don't like, is this junk in the middle. I'll move our chart down a little bit. We saw, where we ended the year flat. Things started off, went up, sort of pulled back, sort of fake out here, up a little bit, and then down strong. Then popped back up. And then this prior one back in June, where it pretty much that week encompassed all the movement for the next 3, then rolled over hard for many weeks, and then started off slowly but building. So hopefully Bitcoin will get more and more into a chart that we can track and trade, because that is what we are looking for. But you can sure see that with that volume and these moves, higher than average volume right in here, we've just seen things tick along. Good to see. That's where we are, folks, as we end the day on Thursday. Tomorrow we will be recording for you what? The weekly review and forecast. Be sure not to miss that. Patreon members, check your emails. We sent out to you yesterday the Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies, the 3-wave trades, and 20 weekly vertical crossovers. And again, if you don't see the email or somehow it is missing, then of course always feel free to go to our Patreon page, where everything is always uploaded there actually first for our Patreon members. So you never miss out. Even if you somehow accidentally erase the email, it ends up in a spam box, whatever happens, you're traveling, you can always go to the Patreon page find the same stuff. God bless my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.